Hey guys, this is part 4 of my series that I'm doing about myself. Okay, so I ran out of time in the last video, but actually that's kind of a good thing because I don't think I could have done justice to my 7th and 8th grade years if I had to cram them in with the other two. So, all right, in 7th grade, I had for English and history. I had the same teacher for 7th and 8th grade because I was in what was called the loop. So I had the same two teachers for both years. I had a teacher for math and science, and then I had a teacher for English and history. And he kicked butt. Okay, that was actually like when I was at the end of 6th grade, beginning of 7th grade. That was really like when I got obsessed with Chernobyl, which is my longest running obsession to date. And Mr. Callett, my teacher, he got me my very first book about it. It's called Voices from Chernobyl. It's an awesome book. I highly recommend it. And that really kicked it off. I didn't really get such good grades in his class most of the time because after I kept getting into fights and like screaming and pitching fits and stuff, I got taken off that medication. And so anyway, he was one of the ones who helped figure out that I have autism. And I just remember at the end of my 8th grade year, my parents and the school psychologist and Mr. Callett were all together in his classroom because at the end of the day, because he didn't have a class at that point, and having a meeting about me, which I'm kind of surprised I wasn't invited to, but I mean, whatever. So, and then since my parents were there, and it was the end of the day anyway, I asked if I could go home early, and they were like, yeah, sure. So I got to go home with them instead of going home on the bus. And I just remember I sat down in the car, and my dad sat down in the passenger seat because my mom was driving. And he turned around in his seat, and he looked at me, and he was like, guess what, kid? You have Asperger's. And at first I thought he was joking because my dad jokes a lot. And I was like, Asperger's? You know, Asperger's. A burger made out of ass. And it took me a second to realize he wasn't kidding. And yeah, I don't think I will ever forget that moment because it was just so weird. And so high school sucked. High school was the worst part of my school career because that was when I started getting scared to be at school. In 9th grade, I barely passed. I flunked out of algebra. I barely passed my science class. I had to come in the day after the last day of school and do a project to get a passing grade. And yeah. But I also met my Russian teacher, Miss Benoit. She is awesome. She doesn't actually teach Russian, but she is from Russia. She's from Tomsk, and she was helping me learn Russian. And she actually told me this. She was okay with me being autistic, but she didn't really get it until this one time. And she told me this, and I had totally forgotten this happened. But she told me this one time that I said, I always use a ballpoint pen and not a pencil because I don't like the way the pencil works. I don't like the way it feels when I'm writing with it. I don't like, erasing because a lot of times the eraser just doesn't work. And I just went off on this thing about ballpoint pens. And that was when it clicked for her that I wasn't just, picky, that there is a reason why autistic people do the things that they do. And that's when she really got it. And I think that's incredible, actually, because, teachers are there to teach students. But I actually taught a teacher something. Anyway, running out of time again. God, I wish I could have longer videos, but I don't have any money to pay for it. I will talk about being scared at school in the next video. All right. Peace.